My name is Ava Reynolds. I was 17 years old when I died. It happened on an ordinary night, the kind of night that feels too small to matter.
I was lying in my bed, phone glowing inches from my face, my room completely dark except for the screen. My parents thought I was asleep. My friends thought I was offline. In reality, I was scrolling. Again, TikTok, Instagram, messages, videos, faces, perfect lives, perfect bodies, perfect smiles. I remember feeling tired, but not the kind of tired sleep fixes. It was deeper, heavier, like something inside me had been drained slowly over years, and I had just gotten used to the emptiness. My chest felt tight. My thoughts were loud. I couldn't stop comparing myself. Couldn't stop thinking I wasn't enough. I didn't tell anyone how bad it was getting. Online, I smiled. I posted photos with filters. I laughed in comments. But when the phone went dark, the silence was terrifying. That night, my heart started racing. My vision blurred. I tried to sit up, but my arms felt weak, like they weren't mine anymore. I thought I was having a panic attack. I'd had them before. I reached for my phone again, instinctively, like it could save me. The screen lit up one last time, and then everything dropped away. No pain, no sound, just a sudden stillness. I wasn't in my room anymore. I was standing somewhere vast and bright, but not blinding. The light wasn't coming from above, it was everywhere. It felt alive, warm, safe. The anxiety that had lived in my chest for years was just gone. For the first time since I could remember, my mind was quiet. I knew, without being told, that I was dead. And somehow, I wasn't afraid. Then I felt a presence behind me. Not threatening, not sudden. Familiar, like someone who had always been there, waiting patiently. When I turned around, I saw him. Jesus. He didn't look like the paintings. There was no white robe, no dramatic glow around his head. His presence was the light. I couldn't see his face clearly, yet I knew him completely. And more shocking than seeing him was realizing something else. He knew me. Every thought, every secret. Every night I cried silently, so no one would hear. Every time I refreshed my feed, hoping someone would notice me, I expected shame, judgment, disappointment. Instead, I felt love. Pure, overwhelming love that didn't excuse my pain but understood it. I collapsed to my knees without realizing I'd moved. "I'm sorry," I said, though I didn't even know what I was apologizing for. I tried to be happy. I really tried. That's when he showed me my life. Not as memories, but as layers. I saw myself at 12, downloading social media for the first time. Innocent, curious, laughing. Then 13, 14. Each year, the light around me dimmed just a little more. With every comparison, every cruel comment, every hour lost scrolling, something thin and grey wrapped around my heart. "Why does it hurt so much?" I asked him. "Everyone else seems fine." He didn't answer with words. He showed me the truth. And what Jesus revealed about social media shattered everything I thought I knew. Jesus lifted his hand, and the light around us shifted. It didn't disappear, it focused. Like reality zooming in. Suddenly, I was looking down at Earth. Not the version from space documentaries or Instagram photos. This Earth was covered in invisible layers, like overlapping worlds. Cities pulsed with light and shadow at the same time. Homes glowed softly, but many of them were wrapped in a dull grey haze that moved slowly, like smoke with intention. "Look closer," Jesus said, not with his mouth, but straight into my heart. My vision sharpened. I saw bedrooms, thousands of them, millions. Teenagers lying in beds just like mine. Phones inches from their faces. Screens glowing in the dark. Some were laughing. Some were crying. Some stared blankly, endlessly scrolling like they were hypnotized. From the screens came something I didn't expect. Threads. Thin, dark threads leaked out of the glass and wrapped around their wrists, their necks, their thoughts. Every swipe tightened them. Every like pulled them closer. Every comparison sank the threads deeper into their hearts. I saw a girl my age, staring at a photo of another girl. Perfect body, perfect smile. The girl whispered, "Why don't I look like that?" And the thread around her chest tightened. I saw a boy reading comments under a video, people mocking him, laughing, calling him useless. Each word landed like a dart, invisible but real, sticking into his soul. "This is not neutral," Jesus said. "This is formation." I didn't understand. "But it's just apps," I said. "Just entertainment." Jesus showed me more. I saw something behind the platforms, not people, not companies, but spiritual forces feeding on attention, feeding on insecurity, feeding on division. Every moment of self-hate, every obsession with approval, every hour lost scrolling without purpose. Something unseen grew stronger. These systems are designed to shape identity without wisdom, he said. They teach children to ask the wrong question. I felt sick. What question? Am I seen? Instead of, who am I? Then he showed me myself. I watched my own life play out in seconds. Me deleting photos that didn't get enough likes. Me checking who viewed my stories. Me smiling for the camera while feeling empty inside. Every time I looked to the screen to tell me my worth, a small light inside me dimmed. "You were not weak," Jesus said gently. "You were young." Tears streamed down my face. "Why didn't anyone warn us?" "Some did," he replied, but the noise was louder. Then the scene changed again. I saw the future. Not dates, not headlines, patterns. Children younger than me, 9, 10 years old, already addicted. Anxiety becoming normal. Loneliness becoming invisible. Silence replacing conversation at dinner tables. Bedrooms becoming prisons with glowing walls. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was how normal it all looked. "This is why it is dangerous," Jesus said. "Because it feels harmless." I grabbed his arm. "Can this be stopped?" He looked at me with a seriousness that made the light tremble. "Yes," he said, "but not without awakening." That's when I realized something terrifying. He wasn't just showing me what had happened. He was showing me why I had to go back. And I didn't want to. The light around Jesus grew brighter, but it wasn't warm anymore. It was urgent. He showed me a river of souls, millions of young people moving through life, distracted, heads down, eyes glowing from screens. The river split into paths, but most never noticed the turns. They just followed the current. "This generation was born during a war," Jesus said. "A war of ideas?" I asked. "A war for identity." He showed me how previous generations were attacked through fear, poverty, and violence. But for us, the weapon was different. "Distraction," he said. "Comparison. Noise." I saw how silence had become rare, how boredom, once a doorway to creativity and prayer, had been erased. Every empty moment was filled instantly. No time to reflect. No time to ask real questions. No time to hear God. Then he showed me something that scared me more than hell ever could. I saw young people who believed they were free. They chose what to watch, what to follow, what to believe. But behind each choice were invisible nudges, algorithms, quietly steering emotions, outrage, desire, and self-worth. "You are being discipled," Jesus said, "by whatever holds your attention the longest." That sentence hit me like lightning, triggered a shock in my soul. I saw influencers shaping morality, comment sections replacing conscience, trends deciding truth, likes becoming validation, cancel culture becoming judgment without mercy. "And where am I in all this?" I whispered. Jesus turned to me, his eyes full of sorrow, but also fire. "I am pushed to the margins," he said, muted, laughed at, reduced to a quote. I saw videos using his name for clout, crosses worn as fashion, faith turned into aesthetic content. And worst of all, I saw how many young people thought they knew him, but had never listened. Then he showed me the consequence. Not punishment, emptiness, anxiety, depression, identity, confusion, rage without direction, pleasure without joy, constant connection, but no intimacy. "They are starving," Jesus said softly, "and they don't know what for." I fell to my knees. "Then why don't you stop it?" He knelt with me. "Because love does not force," he said, "and awakening must be chosen." That's when he showed me the other path. I saw small groups of teens unplugging, talking, praying, creating, instead of consuming, using technology without being owned by it, speaking truth without screaming. loving without performing. They weren't famous, but they were awake. They will be mocked, Jesus said, but they will see clearly. I felt hope rise in my chest. Is that why you showed me all this? Yes, he said, because a warning spoken in love can still save many. The light around us began to fade, not disappear, but pull back like a tide. I panicked. Wait, what about me? Jesus smiled, the same smile that felt like home. You will wake up, he said, and you will remember. And when you speak, he added, some will scroll past, some will laugh, but some will wake up too. Then everything went dark, and I opened my eyes, back in my body, back in my room. My phone on the floor screen shattered, but my soul was finally clear. I woke up screaming, not from pain, but from loss. The room felt wrong, too small, too loud, too heavy. The ceiling above me was cracked, stained, imperfect. My chest burned as I sucked in air, like I had forgotten how to breathe. Machines beeped beside the bed, sharp and mechanical, nothing like the living light I had just left. I tried to sit up, but my body wouldn't obey. She's awake, someone said. A woman's voice, trembling. My mother. Tears blurred my vision. I want Ed to tell her everything at once. That heaven was real. That Jesus was real. That love was realer than anything we touch here. But my throat only let out a broken sob. Later, the doctors would say, I was gone for 9 minutes. No heartbeat, no brain activity, no explanation. They called it a miracle, but said it quietly, like they were afraid of the word. The first night back, I didn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the river of faces, teens like me, scrolling, laughing, hurting, drowning, without knowing they were underwater. My phone was returned to me. 2 days later, the screen lit up, instantly. Notifications, messages, missed trends, drama that suddenly felt meaningless. My hand started shaking. That's when I remembered Jesus' words. You are being discipled by whatever holds your attention the longest. I turned the phone face down. For the first time in years, silence filled the room, and it terrified me, because in that silence, I could hear my own thoughts, my fears, my guilt, all the times I had compared myself to strangers, all the nights I cried over numbers, likes, views, comments, like they decided my worth. I thought of how often I had prayed only when I was desperate, how often I had said I believed, but lived like God was optional. Jesus hadn't shown me hell to scare me. He showed me truth to wake me up. Over the next weeks, things changed. Not instantly, not magically, but deeply. I deleted apps, not all of them, but the ones that owned me. I stopped checking my reflection every time the camera opened. I stopped arguing with strangers online, like it was a sport. I started reading slowly, thinking, praying, even when it felt awkward, and something unexpected happened. The anxiety didn't disappear overnight, but it loosened its grip. The noise in my head quieted. I felt present. People noticed. Friends asked what happened. Some laughed when I tried to explain. Others listened in silence, eyes wide, like something inside them recognized the truth before their minds did. That's why I'm telling you this. Not to sound holy, not to scare you, not to tell you to throw your phone away and live in the woods, but to ask you one question Jesus asked me. Who is shaping your heart? Because social media is not neutral. It trains you, forms you, feeds you either truth or emptiness. You don't have to be evil to be lost. You just have to be distracted long enough to forget who you are. Jesus didn't ask me to warn the world about an app. He asked me to warn it about a slow forgetting. Forgetting silence, forgetting mercy, forgetting God, forgetting yourself. If you feel restless reading this good, if you feel defensive, ask why. If you feel tired deep in your soul, you're not broken. You're hungry, and what you're hungry for isn't more content. It's truth. It's love. It's meaning. He's still calling, but in a world that never stops scrolling, you have to choose to listen.